yew tree. A monster calls. Hey, darling, his mother said, pushing herself up a bit in her bed as Connor came through the door. He could see how she struggled to do it. I'll just be out here, his grandma said, getting up from her seat, walking past without looking at him. I'm going to grab something from the vending machine, sport. Do you want anything? His father said from the doorway. I want you to stop calling me sport, Connor said, not taking his eyes off his mother, who laughed. Back in a bit, his father said, and left him alone with her. Come here, she said, patting the bed beside her. He went over and sat next to her, taking care not to disturb either the tube they had stuck in her arm or the tube sending air down her nostrils, or the tube he knew occasionally got taped to her chest when the bright orange chemicals were pumped into her at her treatments. How's my Connor, then? She asked, reaching up a thin hand to brush his hair. He could see a yellow stain on her arm around where the tube went in, and little purple bruises all along the inside of her elbow. But she was smiling. It was tired. It was exhausted, but it was a smile. I know I must look a fright, she said. No, you don't, Connor said. She brushed his hair again with her fingers. I think I can forgive a kind lie. Are you okay? Connor asked. And even though the question was, in one sense, completely ridiculous, she knew what he meant. Well, sweetheart, she said, a couple of different things they've tried haven't worked like they wanted them to, and they've not worked a lot sooner than they were hoping they wouldn't. If that makes any sense. Connor shook his head. No, not to me either, really, she said. He saw her smile get tighter, harder for her to hold. She took in a deep breath, and it ricocheted slightly as if it went on, like there was something heavy in her chest. Things were going a little faster than I'd hoped, sweetheart, she said. Her voice was thick in a way that made Connor's stomach twist even harder. He was suddenly glad he hadn't eaten since breakfast. But, his mom said, voice still thick but smiling again, there's one good thing that they're going to try, a medicine that's had some good results. Why didn't they try it before? Connor asked. Remember all my treatments, she said, losing my hair and all of that throwing up? Of course. Well, this is something you take when that hasn't worked how they wanted it to, she said. It's always a possibility, but they were hoping not to have to use it at all. She looked down, and they were hoping not to have to use it this soon. Does that mean it's too late? Connor asked, setting the words free before he knew what he was saying. No, Connor, she answered him quickly. Don't think that. It's not too late. It's never too late. Are you sure? She smiled again. I believe every word I say, she said, her voice a little stronger. Connor remembered that the monster had said, belief is half of healing. He still felt like he wasn't breathing, but the tension started to ebb a little, letting go of his stomach. His mom saw him relax a bit, and she started rubbing the skin on his arm. And here's something really interesting, she said, her voice sounding a bit more chipper. You remember that tree on the hill behind our house? Connor's eyes went wide. Well, if you believe it, his mom continued, not noticing, this drug was actually made from yew trees. Yew trees? Connor asked, his voice quiet. Yeah, his mom said. I read about it way back when this all started. She coughed into her hand, then coughed again. I mean, I hoped it would never get this far, but it just seemed incredible that all that time we could see a yew tree from our own house. And that very tree could be the thing that healed me. Connor's mind was whirling so fast it made him dizzy. The green things of this world are just wondrous, aren't they? His mother went on. We work so hard to get rid of them when sometimes they're the very thing that saves us. Is it going to save you? Connor asked, barely able to say it. His mom smiled again. I hope so, she said. I believe so.